Hello, Meoni here, and welcome back to another news video for Final Fantasy XIV. Now, this is really interesting. This is actually on the Live Door Japan website. You've probably seen this before. Basically, it's like a forum that collates loads of information from interviews and other things. It's a Japanese site, but one of the interesting things is that during the last letter from a producer live, and in fact some other discussions since then, there has been some really interesting points discussed about potential future changes. Now, one of the things that we have after I've looked at some translations from this on Reddit and some other sources, it says apparently there's going to be a new Materia function coming sometime in the future for patch 5.4 onwards. We're not sure exactly when, where this apparently will be an implemented feature where there's an option to put Materia automatically onto a piece of equipment, which will actually speed up over melding. Now, this is kind of huge in many ways if you think about the conventional way that you pentameld. Obviously, you have to do this manually, and you say, for instance, you've got a stack of, you've got the first two Materia 8s or whatever past the first one. Say, for instance, it's an accessory or something that's only got one slot. You have your first 8 for free, and then pretty much everything else has to be 7s. In current tier, well, you have to basically do that manually. Instead of having, let's say, for example, what normal people have is they have about a stack of like 99 of Materia 7s, and then they would they would do it manually trying to get these to go in, and you'd have to press a button. Well, this would be a really, really useful feature. That kind of automation is something we've seen in other parts of the game, including desynthesis, with the automated desynthing of stacks. We've also seen more automation recently in Diadem, for example, and elsewhere in the world, with auto gathering, right, with a tick box. So it makes sense. It makes sense, I believe, to have something like this for Materia melding, and that gets me all kinds of excited, actually. It's a small thing, like usual, but it's definitely something that I personally would want. But yes, auto overmelding is a real thing that we may see very soon in the future, as close as 5.4. And now, of course, 5.4 is set for December, supposedly. So, yeah, it's basically the desynth command by the looks of it, but just puts Materia. I guess it would just keep burning through them, probably at the same speed that you do it, though, because most of the time they put automation in, it doesn't really speed up the process of manually clicking something. It's rather you can go, AFK for a few seconds whilst it does it for you, and if you come back to a bag with no Materia in it, and an unmelded piece of equipment, then you know that your look is terrible, or you might just complete it completely automatically. I thought this was worth making a little video on because, there's also little bits and pieces of information that are coming out that we didn't know about before, but this was sort of like said offhand, but has been talked about in other places as well. But yeah, I'm pretty jazzed about the future of Final Fantasy XIV, and that's definitely one of the features that would make all the difference that I don't think many people have talked about yet. Okay, so we're in the game. I thought I'd continue this discussion in here because it would be a little bit better to just show you what it's like if you've never known. I don't actually play tank in this particular expansion. It's not something I play, so don't expect anything miracle-wise in terms of gear here. We just have the 450 stuff. I'm just going to use this as an example. Like I say, I've not got any Materia in this. I don't play tank endgame, so it's not really a concern for me. But let's show you for the basics then. So this is, well, we're not going to be able to put 60 crit in there, so we're going to put determination in here instead. As you can see, the first one is always your level 8 is guaranteed, 100% chance. Obviously that's not a problem, but with a crafted gear you can obviously pentameld that, you can overmeld it. As you can see, overmelding is possible. You can't do that with stuff that's blue or purple, for example, that has that 5 slots already enabled, such as the relics. With green stuff you can obviously go beyond, go further. So basically we need to get 2 of the 60s in here, so I would go for determination there because we can't put the crit in for our warrior here, and we have a 17% chance. 5 of those. Let's see how we do. Yeah, but basically you could have a stack of stuff, and instead of me having to press this button every time, you could just list the amount that you want it to go through, and then you press like a button, probably a tick box, and it would go through. There we go, that was a success. But obviously we want to, now we've got that, the second Materia 8, we'd go for some 7s. We can fit in some more crit here with some 7s, so that's what I would do. But then you have 10%, and obviously it goes down to 7% much later on. I'm not expecting these to work, obviously, but it would make things a little bit faster because you're... Wow, that went straight in. That's a hilarious video look right there. But yeah, as you can tell, you know, it would speed things up to just have a stack of stuff, and you tick a box, and then you just press meld, and then you could go and make a cup of coffee. And by the time you come back, you might have a pentamelded set of, well, pentamelded piece of gear. Wow, that is really lucky as well. And then we're done for crit, so we'd go for determination, obviously, because we're going crit depth as our priority for a warrior. Yeah, and it would just be a massive quality of life thing. I can't believe the RNG, actually. This is definitely not going in. A 5% chance on the video. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. If you'd like to see more things automated. If so, if you could have anything, a system in the game automated, what would you choose? That's a really good question. Let me know below. We'll probably consider this a huge quality of life thing. We'll talk about this in the future, and we might cover it in a tea time in the future, talking about quality of life, so your things written down below might be used as examples of things that people want. Anyway, thank you kindly for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. Take it easy. Stay safe.